Game away, Fiji in the light blue versus Uganda. And a lot at stake in this Pool D game. Uganda already with the one win under their belt yesterday. Fiji desperate for a win here. They're certainly showing some patience, Uganda.
Contact.
Praskovia shot 56 from 62 yesterday.
Advantage obstruction wing defence.
So the first two plays of the game, the Fijians have just gone down that left-hand side of the court. And Sivakula, the last pass into Mitchell. So pretty evident early the way the Fijians are going to approach this game. That beautiful high pass into their gun goal shooter under the post.
The Fiji skipper, big job for her. As Fiji have a bit of a shooting gun of their own, Tarima Mitchell in a goal shoot, shot 100% yesterday.
Mitchell, of course, has spent plenty of times in Australia, played 4 years with both Illawarra and Sutherland, clubs just south of Sydney. Had a break to start a family, has a couple of boys, but she's back in the action now, so she'll have plenty of local fans cheering for her.
She's big on family, Mitchell. She's, I think, got 11 siblings.
She does.
Contact, goalkeeper.
That's more than enough for a netball team and a few reserves.
Contact.
Risky play then from Peace Praskovia. Stepped into the arms, but it made no difference. She's a magnificent athlete. Played for Loughborough Lightning in the UK Super League. She's just been signed for another 2 years for that club. No doubt some ANZ Championship clubs are looking very closely at her.
Nice long shot. Oh, that's quite a tumble. She gets up with a smile on her face.
Oh, netball is a tough, Jen.
Well, you're not going to walk away from an event like this, are you?
No. And not when, for Fiji, when you're in this crunch match. They must win this match to stay alive in this pool. Oh, footwork call there. That's the Ugandan centre, Ruth Mehmet. Oh, what a magnificent intercept. Florence Nyonga read it beautifully. She gives away plenty of height. But the timing was perfect.
Well, judging from the roar from the crowd, they are not without their supporters here in Sydney, Uganda.
Jen, I've got a Ugandan friend who tells me that there's been a lot of stuff going around on Facebook for the She Cranes. They've got their own fan page, big Ugandan contingent in Sydney and Brisbane, and they are out in force at this World Cup.
Oh, they've been helped by that error from Fiji, but Fiji win it back. Nice straight line play.
Contact goal attack. Beside her.
Nice little double play there between Latura and Wonga. Really like the way this Fiji at mid-court just moves the ball. Quite confident in where they place it.
Goal defence.
So Mitchell urging her players on, 5-4 early stages. What was interesting about Fiji's game yesterday is they won 3 quarters, but they had a shocking second quarter. Wales took that quarter 20 goals to 8. There's no coming back from that. Rachel Nanyonga adds another one.
Oh, lovely take stretch there from Mitchell. She's willing to hold, but she's also willing to get out on the move. That makes it hard to defend against, that ability to mix it up between two really tall players, Mitchell and...
Oh, good work. That was Wanganandrola, the goal defence for Fiji. She's an experienced player. Oh, beautiful ball finds Mitchell. Good little run here from Fiji.
Strong play on the edge of the circle from Mehmet. That's a nifty little combination between Mehmet and Nanyonga at goal attack. Give away plenty of height, but they make up for it in speed and power. And you can just see the speed at which they're moving the ball down there. It's just getting the Fijian defenders' heads turning. They're going to have to continue to exploit that. Beautiful take there. Here's Praskovia.
Wanganandrola riding Nanyonga round the circle. Nice efficient shot of Rachel Nanyonga.
Yeah, it's an interesting shooting style. Jen has the ball in her right hand and really takes the left hand off it quite early. Completely different to how you'd coach kids in the Australian shooting style, but you wouldn't coach her any different. It's incredibly effective.
Well, she talks about her shooting style. She's also a basketballer, apparently. Used to shooting with two hands.
Yeah, basketballer shots tend to be a little bit lower off both hands, but for Nanyonga, she's just got a flat shot, but it is like, so that's flat like a basketball player, but the one-handed release is unusual.
She wants to follow in her shooting partner's footsteps and secure a Super League contract. And that's after playing well here in Sydney, so not bad goals. Halfway mark, first quarter, 8-all. Mitchell adds one more for Fiji.
Uganda. Advantage by wing attack.
They show a lot of patience at times, Uganda.
They do, and that makes it difficult to defend against because they're prepared to go backwards, go to the side, and it's really hard to pick the rhythm as it from a defender's point of view. And a mishandle there, Praskovia. A lovely defensive play from Mehmet. Chased up her own tip. There's that one-handed shooting style, does the job.
The Ugandan bench looking comfortable with that. Oh, great work.
Beautiful play there from Florence Nanyonga. She gives away 20 centimetres to her opponent, Tamara Mitchell. Hasn't mattered though, she's come up with two really crucial tips early in this first quarter.
Sarah Dakuitonga, defence for Fiji. Wow, Uganda now in front. play.
Where
One of the shortest players in the tournament. She's down officially as 1.52 metres.
Always hope for the little people, Jen.
Always hope.
Look, what she does really well she's doing really well at the moment, is finding that space along the baseline. Peace Praskovia is really setting up in the middle of the circle, which allows Nanyonga just to sneak along the baseline, and she's really exploiting her speed. She's finding plenty of space in there. Moinandrola.
Ugandan players were waiting for an obstruction call there. Hesitation, so Fiji come away with the ball. Oh, great effort. Betty Namkasa, the goal defence. Tour.
First miss for Rusifakula. Oh, lucky, that was sneaky.
Contact goalkeeper.
So things have just become a little bit bogged down in that Fijian shooting circle, and no surprise, they're going straight to Mitchell to finish things off.
Right, one goal in it, 3.5 minutes left in this first quarter. Kate Carpenter having plenty to say.
Advantage obstruction, wing attack. Centre contact.
Elise Wonder doing her best with that 3-foot guard, but too close.
Advantage contact.
Siwanga had plenty of confidence then in Mitchell, delivered the ball and ran straight back to set up for the next centre pass. Wasn't worried about a rebound tipping out of the circle. Why not? It's even 8 from 9.
Now a big turnover for Fiji. Ruth Mehmet shakes her head.
Oh, she wins it back. Beautiful play. Oh, puts a foot out of court. That's what you want to see in a player. Cause the turnover, get back defensively, and eyes for the ball. Really well played. Ruth Mehmet.
Moinandrola sets things going again, Fiji. Oh, big ball, too big for Taraima Mitchell. So that's a chance let go by Fiji. Trail by 1. She'll be off down to the circle.
So Praskovia and Nanyonga just playing a little switch up there. Praskovia coming out and doing some work out the front. Nanyonga sitting in the circle. Really smart play from Uganda, just giving the Fijian defensive line something to think about.
Fiji had a chance there to draw level, but it's gone the other way. So they trail by 2. Now make that 1.
Just a steady build up there from Fiji. Finding space at the top of the circle. And when their mid-quarters find that nice feeding spot at the top of the circle, it's a bit of a sweet spot for them because they're able to get the ball in fairly easily into Mitchell.
Lillian Adjo. Keen on that step in, isn't she, Praskovia?
She is, and Ramuka is doing a really good job of just getting a hand up and keeping it there. So eventually that will pay dividends for the Fijian keeper.
Oh, that was, yes, great defence from Uganda.
Someone's trying to shoot.
Wangan and Drola left with no one to go to. So, dying stages of the first quarter. Proscovia really taking her time over that final shot. She's probably aware that there isn't much time left. They do take their centre pass as the whistle goes for the end of the first quarter in this pool day clash. And very even as we expected. But at the end of the first 15-minute period, it is Uganda leading Fiji 15-12. Well, Liz, we thought it would be close, but it is.
It is, and it's been a bit seesawing through the course of this quarter. It looked like Fiji were in control early, then Uganda had a little bit of a run midway through the quarter, and they've just controlled it through to the end. Just get the feeling that they're finding their way through Uganda into that shooting circle a little bit easier. When Fiji have a strong build-up, they're then able to find their shooters.
Look at that, plenty of bib changing going on. Well, discussion in the Ugandan camp. Look at Taraima Mitchell. Yep, she'll be wanting that shooting circle perhaps just to work a little bit more smoothly in the second quarter. Here are all the numbers.
Yeah, look, and I reckon Mitchell will be saying, let's just get the ball to the top of the circle. They don't want to give the Uganda defensive line space to run. The reason being, if you just look down, 4 intercepts to Uganda, none to Fiji. If you break that down, it's Betty Namkaza at goal defence that has done the damage for Uganda. She's got onto the ball, and she's able to do that when the ball gets put up in the air a little bit or when the pass is just a little bit too long. She's found herself able just to get out and really harass the Fijian midcourt and the Fijian goal attack in Ruzivakula. I reckon Fiji have been just impressive when they've played with a little bit of control. When they've tried to go too long into Mitchell, that's when the Uganda defensive line are able to get up and get their hands to the ball. If you look down at the other end of the court, where Uganda have been impressive is in their ability to control the pace of the game. And that shows to me plenty of experience. Even though Uganda, this is only their second World Cup appearance, they've been able to decide to slow the ball down and slow the release of the ball down. That's frustrated the Fijian defenders. It hasn't allowed either of Wanging-Drola or Rambuka to be able to get up and have a go at the ball. So for the Fijian defenders, I reckon they just need to change their starting position up a little bit so they can get in and create a little bit more havoc.
There's Rachel Nanyonga. She has been centre of everything for Uganda. So Kate Carpenter, I'm sure she will have made plenty of notes in that first quarter. They trail by 3.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. It's on the wall. She holds the ball like not close to the post, but then she looks behind the feet.
I have to just tidy up on the...
Yeah, and let your goal attack shoot.
Fiji heading on back out to court. They trail by 3, 15-12. Well, Uganda, they're already out there keen to get on. So much at stake in this game. Fiji know that if they drop this, their chances of heading into the top 8 are shortened. Second quarter away, Fiji in possession. Uganda leading 15-12. Good start for Fiji, quick goal.
Advantage breaking. Advantage obstruction centre. Contact centre. Contact keeper. Contact goal defence, sorry. Back up. With the goal defence.
A little handoff to Proscovia. Mitchell strong in the air. That really did illustrate, didn't it, that difference in height between Mitchell and Florence Nanyonga. Footwork. I think the call.
Well, Gio just gave it away. Just a foot slipped out of that shoe.
Out of court.
That's footwork.
Wangan and Droller getting Fiji underway. Chance here just to eat into this lead a little bit.
So just one change for the Fijians. Lutua goes to the bench. Thiri Kasuva comes on at wing attack. No changes for Uganda.
Fiji had a very poor second quarter yesterday, and oh, that's not going to help their chances. Straight through the hands of Rufi Vikula.
Contact Fiji centre. With the centre.
Strangely is how it happens, isn't it, in certain quarters of games. Teams just either, go off the boil or are prevented from performing as well as they were.
Oh, look, I suspect it's mental when a team really goes off the boil like that. They've just probably had a really good first quarter. Oh, beautiful work there from the Ugandan goalkeeper. Just outstanding work from Nanyonga.
Good effort.
So yes, Jen, I suspect that it's mental from the Fijians. Now they would have talked about that last night in their team meeting. They would have talked about it this morning in their team meeting. Generally that is meant to help you address it, but sometimes it puts a worm in your brain and you start to really worry about, oh my goodness, we really can't stuff up this second quarter. So for Fiji, they've got to stop thinking like that and really start thinking about the process. Okay, how do we just get the ball, control the ball and score goals?
I just saw a picture of Nabiru Rashid, the coach of Uganda. Hasn't been in the job long. What installed about less than 3 weeks before the tournament. So quite a task for him. But something must be working. Fiji close to within 2.
Defensive pressure then from Fiji. They've just put on a little bit of a zone. Just a 3-person zone to take up space to make up for the fact that Wonga was out of play. And it made the Ugandans think about their approach to the circle. In the end, though, it comes off for them.
Oh, another shoe problem. It might be the same shoe.
You can't call timeout for a shoelace. The umpire has to call it.
I think she's probably done a double knot this time. A nice little flick from Thiri Kasuva. And followed up by an equally nice goal from Rusfi Vikula.
Good opening to this quarter from Fiji. Made up those 3 goals relatively quickly.
18 all.
Inside. It's inside, near the line.
Just a great shot there of Peace Prascovia holding the ground, and it shows what you have to do as a holding goal shooter. You can't just stand there with your feet planted. You can see that Rambuka Neliti is trying to get around her. So the holding goal shooter is really using her feet to hold her space rather than her body to hold her space. And that's why Prascovia is just so good. Her footwork is exquisite.
And Mitchell going nicely. 14 from 15 in this game. You can't argue with the Ugandan shooting. 100%. Oh, good contest there from Wanganandrola, but contacted as she did.
Fiji.
Uganda take the lead back. 2019. Just under 9 minutes left in the second quarter. A hopping Ruth Mimi just puts that out of court.
Just interesting the change-up between Lutua at wing attack and her coming off at quarter time and Thiri Kasuva coming on. Just a couple of times watching Thiri Kasuva, she gets caught in the pocket and she needs to start to re-offer and find a way to the top of the circle. As I said earlier, when Fiji get up that top of the circle in that sweet spot for feeding, that's when they tend to get the ball in. Beautifully read by Wanganandrola. A great flight, it couldn't quite control it.
Just one goal in this game. 2019. Uganda in front at the moment. 8 minutes left in the second quarter. So much work being put in outside the circle.
There is, Wanga was unlucky then. She had pretty good space, but Meme stepped in and bought the penalty. And that's where the work has to be done for Fiji, outside the circle. Here's Praskovia just being so tall and so strong. You want to slow the ball up. You want to make the Ugandans just misfire on the pass. Wanga finally comes up with it. She's been working so hard defensively. And that's great transition play from Fiji.
And they needed that because Uganda had just pushed out to a 21-19 lead. I just get the feeling that if either one of these teams gets a bit of a run on, could be disastrous for the other side. Here come Uganda again. Oh, look at the speed of Nanyonga.
That's beautiful, just timing. You know, she didn't have to run fast, she didn't have to run fast, but her change of direction was simply superb. And the passing was just perfect.
So now 22-19, Uganda lead. Nanyonga was keen for the ball on the baseline. Here she is again. Well, this is a really good run for Uganda, and now a 4-goal lead. 23-19, just over 6 minutes left in the second quarter. They're starting to find a few gaps, aren't they, in that Fijian defence? Look at the crowd.
Well, the Fijian goal defence, Wanganandrola, she needs to sort of sit back. Nanyonga's finding some lovely space on the baseline, and she was finding it earlier by that drive, yet now she can sit there and the ball's coming over Wanganandrola's head. So Fijian goal defence has to get back. She's calling for time and she's hurt herself.
Yes, just out of your screen. We might see it in a moment. The goal defence, as you say, Liz. Attila Wanganandrola looks most uncomfortable.
She has, and she's looked uncomfortable for the last couple of passages of play. Now, whether she's hurt herself or whether just keeping up with Nanyonga is starting to take its toll remains to be seen. Would not shock me, though, to see some changes made in that Fijian defensive line.
Well, she's Fiji's most capped player. 82 tests, I think. She's had a 4th World Cup. So perhaps a little bit of rearranging for Fiji. Uganda, meanwhile, make sure of those shoelaces. Abiru Rashid having plenty to say, as you'd expect. Look at the tape on that. I suppose that's standard fare, really, isn't it, for netballers around the world?
Yep. not trying if you're not taped up.
I'd like shares in a tape company.
Interesting, Jen, that you talk about the Ugandan coach, Mubiru, as you say, appointed only 18 days ago. Plenty of controversy around the sacking of the previous coach and Mubiru's appointment, and the Ugandan press were all over it. Florence Omono in particular, starting on the bench, and maybe one of the reasons for that is that she was particularly outspoken. Didn't like the fact that the old coach was sacked. So Uganda look to have got past that. Sometimes that can either, they can go really do two things to a team. It'll either bring them together and make them bond and work harder, or it can destroy them. And Uganda look to have rebounded pretty well from all that controversy before they left.
Well, they're in good shape at the moment. 25-19, 5.5 minutes left in the second quarter.
So no changes for Fiji. Wanganindrola remains on the court. And I just wonder if Kate Carpenter has said to her, you've got to do a whole lot more work on Nanyonga. You've got to really make her work hard for that space on the baseline.
Oh, Wanga went for a bit of a ride on the back of her opposite number. Oh, Fiji desperately needed that goal. It's been a while coming. Oh, big ball. Scovia onto it. That's her first miss. That's a second. Leaves it to Nanyonga to finish off. Wouldn't you love to see Uganda play Malawi as much as anything for what was going on in the stands?
Yeah. Oh, just a pride. I think it would just be such a passionate match.
Who knows? It remains to be seen whether or not they'll meet.
I saw Malawi at the back yesterday after they'd beaten South Africa, and they were pretty happy about that result. I reckon they'd have their eyes on Uganda. They are a force.
Oh, and that was a good guard by Rambuka Naliko.
Yeah, Rambuka Naliko is coming into this game as she's really starting to get in the face of Peace Proskovia when she's stepping into the shot. And sometimes it takes a while for those things to pay dividends, and they're starting to pay dividends now. But speaking of dividends, the Fijians need to score off those opportunities. They've got to make Uganda pay for any mistakes that they make. Oh, beautiful rebound then.
Good structure, both players.
Well, the lead now out to 7 goals. Dying moments, really, of the second quarter. 28-21 Uganda.
Turnover there. Yurikasuva was deemed to not have taken the ball wholly in the centre third. And it's those little errors that are costing Fiji at the moment. They're winning ball back, it's not making the most of it. They're not making the most of the ball they get off the centre pass.
And a chant going in the crowd. Great to get the atmosphere building early on day 2 of this World Cup.
Another opportunity for Fiji. They've got to get the ball down court. And it's a footwork call, another little error.
You can imagine Kate Carpenter will be grinding her teeth on the sideline.
Poor coach killers for nothing.
Rachel Nanyonga. You know, before the event, it was Peace Praskovia who was getting all the media attention, the talk from this Ugandan team. But really, this goal attack, she's impressive.
Well, she is impressive, and the stats do tell a nice story about how these two split their roles. Peace Praskovia shooting 17 from 20, but Nanyonga delivering 12 from 13. And if you can get a shorter goal attack shooting up around that 20 mark for a game when you've got such a tall, dominant goal shooter, you are going to do damage in this tournament. The goal attack position is so important, not only to make play, but to deliver goals.
And she delivers another one. 30-21, Uganda over Fiji.
Hot wing attack.
Fiji have to dig deep. Straight through the hands of Alisiwanga. The margin is 10. Niliko offers another chance for Fiji, but they'll have to be quick. They need to be time aware, but no, time runs out for Fiji. And that is a very strong second quarter for the side from Uganda, because they go to the halftime break with a very healthy 10-goal lead, 31-21.
Across the country on Australia's largest Wi-Fi network. Telstra is now. ANZ, premier partner of the Netball World Cup Sydney 2015 and proud supporters of netball in Australia, from grassroots to the elite.
Wonderful to see you all down here at the Netball World Cup 2015. It's all about the fans as well. It's all about showing your true colours when you're up there in the grandstand. It's great to see so many people down here cheering for Fiji and for Uganda as well. Have we got any fans in here for the first game of the day? Well, if you can have a look up there on the big screen, if you can see yourself, we want to see you jump up, have a boogie, have a bit of a good time. It's time for Netball World Cup. Dance Game. Jump up out of your seats and have a good time. Who's cheering for Fiji? Who's cheering for Uganda? Who's just having a great time? Show your true colours around the Netball World Cup. It's Dance Game. Raise your flags, put your hands in the air, show your true colours. The Dance Game time. Here we go.
Welcome back to All Phones Arena. It is half-time. Uganda all over Fiji, 31-21.
They certainly are. The turnovers for Uganda just that little bit lower than Fiji. That's surprising. It just seems that Fiji at the moment are just throwing away a little bit more ball than Uganda. But the goal percentages for both teams, super impressive. Uganda sitting at 100% for much of the match. And they just dropped down towards the end. Three quick misses from Proskovia Peace just did the damage there and just brought their percentages down to that 86%. So both teams fairly even now in terms of their percentage, but Uganda really getting the bulk of the opportunity to get the ball to the post, and when they do, they just don't look like missing, or they haven't looked like missing for much of this match. Not a great second quarter for Fiji, it's got to be said, Jen. They really did struggle yesterday against Wales in that second quarter, went down 20-8. The damage today wasn't as bad, but they'll look at this second quarter where they've gone down 16 goals to 9. They've led 7 goals against a pretty talented opposition. That is a lot to have to make back, especially when they gave them a 3-goal head start at the end of that first quarter. All in all, a pretty entertaining game of netball. Defensively, both teams have been very good. Just get the feeling that the Ugandan defence is starting to make inroads into that Fijian attack, but the Fijian defence is starting just to tire a little bit. And if they're going to make up this 10-goal margin, they will need to make sure that they close up the gaps.
10 goals it is between these two sides. It is half-time. There's certainly a Fijian supporter there. But boy, Fiji has got its work cut out for them in the second quarter. What do you do? Or second half, I should say, Liz. Do you make big changes?
Look, I think they've got to make some changes to that defensive end. They've got to find a way to plug the gaps. Florence Nanyonga is just finding far too much space in the baseline, and she's being damaging.
Well, the second half not terribly far away. Those Ugandan supporters on screen, they look pretty happy. They're having a good time here at All Phones Arena. It is half-time. It is Uganda leading Fiji 31-21. Second half soon. Destined to stay in the bottom 8 of this competition. So big huddle from Fiji as they come out to meet Uganda. They trail by 10, 31-21. Fiji away at the top of the second half, 31-21. Uganda in front. We'll see a change at goal attack for Fiji. There she is in picture, Hussaini Rolini.
Advantage obstruction wing. Obstruction, goal defence.
She'll have another crack at that first one. Now she'll be pleased with that.
Uganda.
She's 20 years of age, Hussaini Rolini.
Not surprisingly, no changes to the Ugandan line. She Cranes electing to stay with the same 7 that started the match, and why not? They've been dominant.
Contact, wing defence, penalty.
You see change in the Fijian defensive circle as well. New goalkeeper, Episaki Kahatoka on. And they'll be pleased with this turnover.
And I think changes did have to be made down there for Fiji. Wongandrola remains on the court. No doubt she'll relish the opportunity to do a little bit better, and what a steal! And Mukasa just finding the ball. She's done it a couple of times in this game. Great elevation, but great timing. That's a really hard thing to do. Sometimes you get your hands on the ball and you're so surprised that you let it go, whereas she's managed to keep control of that second time round. Yeah, better work there from Wongandrola. Really came out of the circle with Nanyonga and made it tough. And there's the turnover. That's built on the back of much better, tighter defence from the Fijians.
So Kahatoka making a difference already.
Contact wing defence.
Great rebound, Rolini. Oh, but footwork. Oh, she's done all the hard work.
Yeah, that's tough, isn't it? But Ruzi Vakula, the goal attack for Fiji in the first half of the game, did a pretty good job, but a shooting percentage let it down, 5 from 8. So Fijians will be looking for a little bit more from their goal attack in this second half.
Oh, the opposite goal attack adds another one. 93% she's running at. Oh, Mitchell's got the big hold on, but no way past Florence Nanyonga.
It's a Nanyonga family show, isn't it?
Family construction.
Gee, that's good play down court. Just using that left-hand corridor, sticking to the sidelines, but
Contact centre.
making it look like they have plenty of room, the She-Cranes.
Vantage contact centre and offside. Contact, goal defence. Ladies.
Of a
Ladies breaking attack.
long while that goal, but they're there, Uganda.
Contact. Goalkeeper.
Push that lead out to 11. And there's again that big step.
Ladies break.
I'm interested that Praskovia piece does that, given that she's been plying her trade in England. You can't imagine that the defenders in the Super League would let her get away with it, yet it seems to be a real part of her game that she's prepared to step in and take on the hands of the defence.
Uganda.
Good marking off the line by Wagamandrola. And Gandhi used the back.
Vantage obstruction, goal attack. Vantage obstruction. Goal attack obstruction.
Rolini all over.
Oh, beautiful hands in there. And look at that transition down court. Better play from Fiji. Can they finish it? They need to.
Contact shooter.
Missed opportunity.
Yeah, actually, you can see she'll be disappointed with herself. They just had lifted their intensity, Fiji, both on defence and attack, but they've got to finish. There's another opportunity for them. One up. And Rolini doing a nice little support play here for Taraima Mitchell. This time it's good.
And that's just Taraima Mitchell's second goal for this quarter. Shot 9 goals in the first, 7 in the second. She's been quiet in the first 5 minutes of this third quarter, so Fiji need to bring her into the game more.
Goal third.
She's got to present herself. Demand with the ball. And really, with a 20-centimetre height advantage over Florence Nanyonga, she really should be seeing a lot more of the ball.
Oh gosh, that felt like a long 3 seconds. But it's good. Rolini gets another one. Still the margin, 9.
It's great work off the line then from Helene Nakatwa at wing attack. She's been incredibly good for the She-Cranes this match. She's been super dominant at the centre pass, hasn't found it difficult at all to find the space. And she's been able to hustle to the top of the circle and find herself in really good feeding position.
Oh, Wagamandrola doing all she could, but nothing can stop Nanyonga.
No, that one-handed shot, it's just so bizarre to look at, but it's so effective. You just wouldn't change it if you were coaching her.
Contact with defence. Contact Uganda centre.
contrast the shooting between Nyonga at goal attack for Uganda and Raulini at goal attack for Fiji. Really different shooting styles. Watch.
Here's an error from Uganda. Chance for Fiji. This is where they get hesitant, isn't it?
It is, and that's where they want Mitchell really standing tall in the circle, just using that height advantage. Just watch this shooting style. It's just textbook perfect for Raulini. Using the left hand for balance and the right hand to push. Great contrast. That's what I love about a World Cup, Jen. You get to see the contrast in style and how different players approach the game from different countries.
Yes, Mitchell, she was waving, but not fast enough. Betty Namkasa, she also saw the wave.
She did, and that ball had to come in sooner. And you mentioned the hesitancy before, Jen, and Wanga really should have released the ball just that little bit quicker because the pass was on. Just had to be delivered.
Contact.
Namkasa having another crack. Well, this is good for Fiji. They are ever so slowly closing this gap. They lead this quarter 6-4. 35-28.
Another shoot. Uganda have had some issues with their footwear in this match. It looks pretty spanking new.
They might need thicker socks.
That's better from the Pearls.
Advantage offside, advantage obstruction centre.
Mitchell cuts the deficit to 7. We're rocketing through this third quarter. Just under 6 minutes left.
A bit more noise in the stadium now. It seems that there's a little bit more urgency to the game because the crowd have got into it a little bit more. With vocal fans on both sides.
All those fans, they'll be getting ready for a big day here on day 2. Tons of netball to come.
Oh, big delivery. Beautifully taken. Kirikasuva looked at it, her eyes lit up, and she thought, I've got to release it. And that's the sort of risk that Fiji have to take if they're going to eat into this margin. Just let that ball go long.
They like it. Oh, disruption by Uganda. Good hustle.
Penalty outside.
That's great hustle. Uganda have got a handy lead, but they're not letting up. It's a tough thing to do when there's players running at you, getting your head over the ball, but all 3 players did then, 2 Ugandans and 1 Fijian.
And look, that's so dispiriting for Fiji because they knew they'd had a bit of a run. They were getting back into this game, and then bang, back come Uganda. And now they've
really well read.
And hasn't she made a difference?
Yeah, look, and one of the problems that Fiji had was they weren't winning clean ball, but Kahakatoa has really allowed that to happen. She's getting out, she's having a crack.
Wing defence.
Oh, you're right about this crowd.
Wing defence.
Oh, the 20-year-old nails another. Usani Rolini.
She missed her first one, but
on this
4 straight.
Undoes the good work. A break.
Every time they build pressure, Fiji, they release them with a little error. Heavy clash there, and Kahakatoa comes off second best.
Gosh. That was a bounce, and she looks actually in a lot of pain.
She does.
She was a bit late on the charge. Let's have another look.
Prascovi didn't move.
Don't think she felt it.
She's so strong.
And this really actually does look awkward.
It's looked like Prascovi's hip almost caught her in the ribs.
So let's have another look at this. She was too late. She was almost trying to pull out of it, but I think you might be right. Hip to rib, and that's where the ice is going, or perhaps just a bit winded.
I hope she can stay on because she's made a real difference, and she's got in there and she's won ball. Doesn't have a clean intercept, but since she came onto the court, she's picked up a couple of deflections, 2 deflections. Just the 4 penalties, so she's been clean as well. Hasn't drawn umpire's whistle, but been able to really hustle.
So just over 3 minutes left in this third quarter. 9 goals between these two sides, so it's still anyone's game. And it looks like she will continue.
Great news.
Good to see. .40-31, 3 minutes remaining in the third. Uganda in possession and in front. Stretch that lead back out to the 10. Oh, block from
Nakasa again. She's been so good at that. Just that beautiful lead. Couldn't control it that time, but she'll make her opposition think. And here she is again. She's run a lot of ball down today, Nakasa.
Yes, and it's almost as though if she's not winning the ball, she's that presence.
Yeah, she's cleaned up a fair bit as well. And she's got 3 clean intercepts, 6 deflections. Certainly a force in that goal defence position.
Shortest player on court gets the rebound and adds one more. So another run for Uganda, 43-31. They lead. And we've seen Fiji fight back already in this game, but can they do it again?
Go shooter.
So Mitchell gives away the penalty. It's the second time that I've seen Wanga really not deliver the ball quickly. Rauluni had a nice baseline drive and Wanga looked away from it. The ball has to go into the Fijian circle nice and fast.
Well, she had a good look at that, Kahatoka. The foot down in the dying stages of this third quarter, Uganda. And cleverly win the throw in. Nayonga, not backwards and coming forward, says, yes, that's mine.
So baseline again, that's where she's been damaging.
$14-goal advantage, 30 seconds left in this quarter. Kasuva.
Instruction goalkeeper. Goalkeeper.
Oh, fingertip rebound by Mitchell. Will they score in the dying stages of the third quarter? But it is all ahead of Fiji because Uganda have really accelerated in this third quarter. They go to the break with a handsome lead of 45-31. Real strength in this Ugandan side, isn't it? And the test being that every time Fiji have come at them, Uganda have been able to pull out something else.
Absolutely, and the other thing that's really interesting, Jen, when you look at the way they've gone about their scoring, it's the last 5 minutes of each quarter, the first, second and third, but particularly that third quarter then, often called the championship quarter, where the Ugandans have really put their foot on the accelerator and they have pulled away, and that's where they've done the damage as the Pearls have got tired.
Both coaches having plenty to say. You wonder again if there'll be more tweaking of these sides.
So the Ugandan shooting percentages have gone up, the Fijian percentages have gone the other way. You can see the volume of goal attempts really favouring Uganda. Just interesting, the turnovers are even, but look at that intercept stat. 7 clean intercepts to Uganda, just 0 intercepts to Fiji. Now that's a problem for Fiji because they are not winning clean ball back. They're really having to make sure that they're chasing things down and making the most of deflections. Now fortunately they're doing that, but where they're losing this game is the fact that they are not punishing Uganda when they get the ball back. The Ugandans, on the other hand, as you see that beautiful elevation then from the Mukasa getting up and getting the ball, Uganda seem to make sure that when they win the ball back from Fiji, they score at the other end. And that's something that teams work on as they go through tournaments like this, is that conversion rate. How well do we convert when we pick up the ball? If you can set it about 50%, then you're actually going to win a lot of games. If you cannot get up over that 50% mark, which Fiji have not been able to do today, it's going to make it really hard. Yes, you get the ball back every second pass, but when you win ball, when you get that bonus ball, that's when you have to get the score on the board. Just feel like Uganda are controlling the game, and it may be just superior fitness is what's doing it for them. When you look at a team that starts to pull away from the opposition in the last 5 minutes, that suggests that it's just fitness that's doing the job for you, and Uganda are looking that way at the moment.
And they're doing that job with the same 7 players who started the game, and I wonder if at this point, you know, you wonder if the coach will want to sort of change things a little bit and put everyone, well, certainly others out there.
Well, you suspect that now that the job has been done, maybe they'll look to make some changes just to preserve legs. You've got to do that in a World Cup.
And there you can see, it does look like Ruthie Fakula making a return to the court, but in the goal shooting position rather than goal attack where she was early. Big job ahead of Fiji here. They trail Uganda by 14 goals. The She Cranes first out, back on court. They want to get on with it, get the job done. Fourth and final quarter begins. Uganda leading Fiji 45-31.
Well done, Wanga. Attack the ball.
Offside centre, free pass inside.
Nemeth doing her best to disrupt it. Rolini missed opportunity. Fiji sorely needed that goal. So it's Uganda who scores first in the fourth quarter.
Granted contact replay.
Oh, that's unfortunate. That was actually batted out of her hand by Mimi as she went through. That's cunning.
It's cheeky. Wanga appealed to the umpire, but
umpire obviously clearly couldn't have seen it.
Australian umpire Michelle Fippard was having nothing of it.
Contact keeper.
Just a bit of a concern for Fiji in the opening minutes of this last quarter. And Nyonga just finding so much space again on that baseline. Really isn't being challenged for the space that she wants. that makes it very comfortable for her, and that just means that when she goes to take the shot, she's in a really good rhythm, things are really easy, and so her shooting is reflecting that. Currently sitting at 22 from 23 at 96%. Praskovia Peace, 25 from 32 at 78%, so her percentage is a little down on what we're used to seeing from her. And when she's missed is when she's taken that huge step in, and the Fijian hands have just got in her way a little bit. If Uganda want to progress in this tournament, Jen, which I assume they will, based on looking at this performance, I reckon they can. They're going to have to address that with Praskovia Peace. She can't just step in, because as the defenders that she plays against get better and better, they will take advantage of that, and they will really smother that shot.
The other teams, of course, in their pool, Wales and Zambia. And I have to say, at the moment, Wales and Uganda looking the two most likely to get through to the top 8.
And that would be an upset. Wales currently ranked 8th in the world. Fiji ranked 7th. They would be the two top teams. So if Wales go through, that's something that you would expect. But looks like Fiji are going to lose this game, currently trailing by 17. This is a massive upset. Sort of haven't talked about that enough, have we?
That's right. Well, you look at their rankings and you think, jeepers, Uganda, I think, 16th in the world at the moment, Fiji 7th. Just goes to show rankings don't always mean that much. And I guess, too, particularly hard when these teams, you know, it's not as though they're playing every week or every month even. So it probably with the way teams change, it's easy, isn't it, for the rankings to get out of sync with the actual calibre of the team.
It certainly is. And when Uganda play, they tend to play against... Oh, that's a great take. Gee, she's strong. She's had a couple of really big bangs.
That was almost a headbutt in the ribs.
Yeah.
It was just unfortunate. Kahakatoa was going almost beneath her.
She takes it and she smiles. Doesn't seem to bother her.
And it's all going wrong for Fiji. 4 minutes into this fourth quarter.
Advantage offside. Offside in defence.
Rachel Nyonga, she has a look to me of the Trinidad player, Julissa Cooper. Similar style of play. Fast, slicing, cunning.
Yeah, and really great use of that back space. And you've got to be smart to do that if you're a shorter player. You've got to know when to use the back space and then when to come forward. Rachel Nyonga has done a terrific job of that today.
Oh, would you believe it? That's Fiji's first goal of this final quarter. Took them almost 5 minutes.
They made some changes. Tamara Mitchell came off, which was an interesting move. She'd gone 9 goals in the first, 7 in the second, and despite a little bit of a slow start in that third quarter, finished up with 7 goals from 7 attempts. So her volume was certainly there.
And away come Uganda again. Oh, this is beautiful play.
Oh.
And you can't help but think this Ugandan side, the She Cranes, fast becoming crowd favourites. And that's what happens, isn't it, at World Cups? I mean, obviously you're here for your own team, wherever you're from, but you do pick up other teams that you think, gee, I like the way they play. For whatever reason, it might be how their supporters dance in the crowd or something.
Well, I'm going to admit something to you, Jen. The Netball World Cup wanted people to pick their second team, so obviously everyone has their first team, pick a second team, and they asked me to do it, and I did pick the Ugandan She Cranes, so I'm really excited to see them play. Lots of their supporters were pretty happy about that. They've got on board as well, so really great team. And look, I just picked them because I like the name She Cranes, but they've done a great job in showing me today that they can play pretty impressive netball. And I reckon some of the top teams will be looking at Uganda and they don't want to meet them because they're capable of causing a huge upset. Where that will be, I don't know.
And they make me think a little bit of a few years ago where Malawi were, when,
yes,
you know, when Malawi wasn't that common a name on the netball map, and then boom, out they came. Mary Wire, Pish Kalua, both now the coaches of Malawi, and look at them now. You know, they're wanted in every international tournament around.
And it's interesting, isn't it, when you sort of start to just doing some research about, I guess, these second-tier nations. Yes, they want to come to the World Cup and do well, but a really stated aim for a lot of them is to try and get a player into the ANZ Championship, into the Trans-Tasman competition that's held.
So plenty of worries really in that Fiji huddle. Not just about the score, but also about the state of the bodies of some of the players. So a little bit of quick bib changing going on there.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see out of this World Cup, because I can guarantee you that every coach in the ANZ Championship will be sitting in these games trying to fill the last roster spots. Who is going to get collected to play in the World's Premier Netball League? And it's a huge source of pride for a lot of these countries when they get a player into the ANZ Championships. And there's a couple of players in this Ugandan team that will be pretty handy.
Well, what an emphatic start once game resumes. Play resumes 52-33, 9 minutes remaining. Uganda running all over Fiji at the moment.
So a change made for Fiji. Mitchell back on at goal shooter. To resume. Her shooting currently sitting at 22 from 24 at 92%. Sivakula moves out to goal attack. Rauluni goes to the bench. Everything else stays the same for Fiji. Oh! Kakatoa took a nasty bump there.
She's been in the wars. Look at this.
It was really courageous. That was a gutsy attempt at an intercept.
Look at that scoreline, 20 goals, 54-34. I don't think anyone was expecting a margin of that magnitude.
No, we expected this to be close, didn't we, Jen? And Uganda have just blown Fiji and most people in this stadium away. Just a really polished performance, and what they've been able to do so far is what I guess is a negative split, sitting 8-3 in this last quarter. They're almost improving as the game goes on. Mid-court combination between Meme and Nakatra. So good.
There's a factor in that, I wonder, that there have been no changes in that playing seven. I mean, can that sometimes, you know, often, particularly at this stage of a tournament, coaches are chopping and changing and you've got to rejig. The seven have been left to play it out.
And build on it. And I think to a degree that's smart. Coaches really have to find the right tension between that. We saw last night, both with Australia and New Zealand, when changes were made, both teams really struggled to find their rhythm, especially in the third quarter.
Now we've got to hold up and play. I think it's down just to the left of your picture, out of shot. It's the goalkeeper, Kakatoa. We've seen her involved in a couple of incidents, really. So a little bit of attention, big smile on the face of Praskovia Peace. Why wouldn't there be?
One of the things that's interesting talking about saving players is that a lot of these teams from developing nations, their preparation is done on asphalt courts. So they get here, and this is actually quite good in terms of with the double sprung floors. You know, they're quite match hardened, they're quite toughened to conditions. So to be able to play through games on a floor that's quite forgiving is a huge advantage when you've prepared on really tough surfaces. So perhaps their coaches don't need to nurse them through like other nations.
Players.
It looks like Kakatoa will continue. No, blood, that was the problem. She needs an elastoplast.
Looks like there's a change for Fiji in that wing attack position. Theresa Suva comes off, Maria Latour comes on, and she's a bit of a superstar for the Fijian Pearls, Latour. She's played in England, recently signed as a brand ambassador for a major company in Fiji. So I reckon she'll relish the opportunity to get back out and show what she's capable of doing in that mid-court position. And one of the things she needs to do is just to bring clean ball through to that Fijian shooting circle.
So Fiji, just under 7 minutes to try and somehow turn things around. I think that's probably too big an ask, but at least restore some dignity to the scoreline.
And what you need to do in these pool play situations, because you don't know what's going to happen, is to make sure that you think about your percentages.
So 6.5 minutes remaining in the match. 55-35 Uganda.
Just love the way the Ugandans have been prepared to move the ball from one side of the court to the other just to set up their attacking play. When things aren't on offer ahead of them, they're quite prepared to go parallel or backwards and to the other side of the court. That really does open up attacking play over there and open up the space.
A little bit of a bump. And straight away back in play, back on the floor. She's helped up by Latour.
This game has been played in really great spirits from both teams. There's been some fairly big clashes, but nothing malicious. Everyone just going for the ball. Ji Wonga's great on that transition play. Whenever she's picked up ball, she's been down the court well and truly before the ball has. So fast. Oh, good hustle.
And it was hustle. Just put that little bit of doubt. Oh, and they've won it straight back, Uganda. And isn't that the story of the game for Fiji? They've won so much ball and then straight away they've frittered it away.
Yep, that's spot on. You know, Kahakatoa has put a body on the line. She did a really good job before, hustled for the ball, didn't get the clean intercept, but got the turnover.
Too much on that one for Uganda, even for Rachel Nanyonga.
Good, but she can't fly just yet.
But look what happens.
And, you know, I talked about the transition play from the Fijian centre from Wonga, but really you've got to pay compliment to the Ugandan transition play, and it's much easier to get to transition from defence into attack because you win the ball and you want to get it down court. The hard thing to do is transition from attack into defence when you lose the ball, but you've got to turn straight around. And that's what Uganda have done incredibly well today, and it's why they've picked up plenty of ball from Fijian turnovers.
And then the most basic of errors, foot on the line. Incorrect throw-in. That would do your head in.
Yep. So Fiji, I think, will look at this game and know that they've really only got themselves to blame. They created plenty of opportunities for themselves, and that's a good thing going forward, to know that they had the opportunity to be in it. But little errors is what cost them. That hurts.
The Ugandan players simply don't stop.
No. And if you watch the wing attack for Uganda, Nakatwa, she's so impressive because she'll make 3 or 4 leads before the ball comes to it. And what that does is makes the wing defence just have to follow her the whole game, and she's really worn her down. She's really worn Daki Tonga down just by making her follow the moves. That means by the time you get to this point in the game, that she's got so much space because the defender's tired.
Well, a little consolation goal. Look at the disappointment written all over the face of Taraima Mitchell. They would have come into this game with pretty reasonable hopes, Fiji.
Centre obstruction. Advantage contact centre. Obstruction non-offence.
Uganda certainly making alive the sometime belief these days that netball is only for tall players. They've got just about every size out on court there, from something like 1.9 down to 1.5. 1.52.
Those 2 centimetres are important. Don't take them off Rachel Nanyonga.
Now there is some singing in the crowd. The Ugandan supporters are in celebration mode. Says it all for Fiji, really, doesn't it? No one there to take the centre pass. So communication breakdown. Uganda hits 60.
And a play the match really to finish off. Beautiful hands between Meme and then Nyonga, and then a lovely lob pass over to Peace. And finishes it off.
Well, not too dissimilar to their score over Zambia yesterday, really, Uganda. That was, I think, 74-38. This is going to be very similar. And Fiji, well, they will simply have to regroup, get over it, and wait for their turn against Zambia.
So what are Uganda do here? How aware are they of the time that's left? Do they go long? They do, but not to Peace. Now, can Nyonga finish?
Airball.
That's the first step she's put wrong all match.
Well, you can hear the cheer from the crowd, and it's from that portion of the crowd. Ugandan supporters absolutely delighted. This is a big win for their team, 61-40 over Fiji. And really, for the Fijians, they will be gutted with this defeat.